All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and say peace, mercy, and blessings to all the hopeful elect. The true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, which means he exists or he is to be. The true name of the Son is Yahweh Shai, which means he is the deliverer, right? And we're the Hebrew Israelites. There's 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Today, we're being called by bywords and proverbs such as black, Native American, Seminole Indian, colored, African American, Haitian, Jamaican, West Indian. All right, the indigenous people of North, Central, South America, we make up the 12 tribes of Israel, right? The Hebrews, we're God's chosen people. And the self-proclaimed white man, he's not white at all. They are the Idumeans or the Edomites according to the Bible. Okay, and we come out here to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom. Prophesy means to say before it happens. All right, and right now where we're at, we're in upstate NY, which is Babylon the Great. All right, America. When you read the Bible, it's Babylon the Great, man. Okay, and if you've been paying attention, they just passed legislation on Friday to where they can automatically draft men ages 18 to 26. There's massive bank closures. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase, banks are closing down. Saudi Arabia just ditched the petrodollar. Now they want to deal with the Chinese with the Chinese yuan, water. So it's a lot going on, man. Pretty much all roads lead to the sea hip, the rice device, which is the charagma from Revelation 13 on down. Go back into this book, Who is Esau Edom by Charles A. Wiseman, because it talks about, the financial upheaval. Because what could be the cataclysm to throw this America into a point of no return could very well be the economic collapse. Because it's the same old rat race, and we're halfway through the year. It's June 16th, 2024, the hopeful year Jacob's trouble. We're halfway through the year, just like that. Yahweh Shem Shai is shortening the days. Just a couple months away will be what? The elections. So I'm gonna go into this book. This is from Who is Esau Edom, right? This is page 15. It says, all the world's a stage. It says, there's a great deal of confusion as to the nature of world events. There are mysterious political changes, right? What you deal with right now is rumors that, Trump is still the president. Sleepy Creepy is on stage shitting his pants, excuse my French. So there's all sort of things going on in the political realm. Which Democrat, Republican, that's pretty much two wings of the same bird, the same creature, man. Because at the end of the day, they're all the devil. It's all a demonic system, democracy, right? It says there are mysterious political changes, sudden international conflicts, wars, peace talks, financial upheavals and disasters, government corruption and oppression, problems with churches and schools, a change in moral values, and a talk of a new world order. And all of these things are going on in the earth. That's because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. See, people will ask, well, if God is real, then why is there wars? Why are there babies dying? Why do these evil people have this power? Because the Most High put them in power. This is the book of Job, chapter 9, and verse 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You go into the word given, the word there in the Hebrew is Nathan, which means to be bestowed upon. The Most High gave Esau the earth, allowed him to have a dominion, a rulership, right? Which really goes back to the blessing that Isaac gave up to Esau. You know, it says he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? And that's why our people, they believe that, God is white, the angels are white, the little babies are white, this, that, and the other, because he covered the faces, right? The real judges are the Israelites, starting with our Lord and Savior Yahushua, right? Which is why when you go to Revelation 11, it says that place where also our Lord was crucified, spiritual Sodom and Egypt. I read it again. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the wicked have authority on this earth right now. All right. And part of their goal, their enterprise is to bring about the NWO, which is the New World Order. Okay. And part of that New World Order, they want to have everyone have a rights device inside of them. This is why Elon Musk has something called Neuralink, where they put in implants in people's brains. He's going to come with his miracles too. People are going to take this thing so they can all talk again if they're dumb, see if they have been blind.
Just like First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48. He say he lay open the book of the law wherein the heathens sought to paint the likeness of God's image.
That's right. The book of the law is the Holy Bible. That's going all the way back during the time of the Greeks. So how much more now? When this devil came in, that was his plan from the beginning. He wanted to take our book, our customs, put himself up as God, so our people can worship him.
Because Esau, he worked on psychology. Imagery is a big thing. Whatever you show, if you put an image and keep repeating and showing it, after a while, through generations, people don't believe this is the real deal because it's been shown a lot. And it's proven. You ask people who what colors. You ask people that the color of Yahushua, he's a black man. They'll tell you he's a white man. Then you say no, he's black. So how come they always showing on TV? And when you go to church and you always see a white Jesus, I was like, okay, that goes into to the iconoclasm. What I'm saying?
Which means the facing of images. Which during the so-called Dark Ages or the medieval times, our people was in rulership as the monarchy over there in Europe, Germany, France, different parts of England. All right, even as the Moors over there in Sicily. Sicily is southern Italy. All right, but you have our people over there, they're ruling. Okay, so what they did, they took down our people. They came out the caves. This is why they call themselves Caucasians. They came up out the caves. They began to plant and marry into the royal families. And then before you know it, they began to expel our people. It started in Spain. The first slaves came from Spain. And one way they would weed our people out was they would feed them pork. Because they know that's sort of custom that we don't really deal with that pork. This is 2 Corinthians 2 and verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. When you go into that word device, the word there in the Greek is no ema, which means for an evil purpose. So going back to what you're saying, he uses media, imagery, sound waves, music, frequency. He uses all of that to play on Jake's mind. Because one thing about this devil, say he accomplishes a diligent search. So he goes into psychology. He studies how the way people think, the way the blood system, the hormone systems work, and he poisons your water and your food system, man.
I remember like a while ago, I watched this before I came to the truth. They was doing a test on sound, how they influence people. So they put in a environment, they have put two rats into a cage. They got them all pretty good, so they separate the other one. They put them in another cage with rock and roll and crazy with that them out of music. And they turned it out, they had them in that for like a week. They put him back in the cage with the other one. He killed the other rat.
Oh wow! You know what else shows you that? They cloned Tyrone. I don't know if you've seen that on Netflix. Yeah. They played this. They played the song. They started fighting. The one song they played, they started hugging. Which goes back to David and let me see if I can get that.
David and Saul.
We played the harp. The demon's love star. I believe it's 1 Samuel 18. You want to look it up? Found it? But yeah, man, music, that's vibrations, frequencies. You know, and this double, he knows how to wait. The daughters of music shall be brought low. You know,
Yeah, I got it. It's 1 Samuel 16 and 23.
the water. This is First Samuel 16 and verse 23. And it came to pass when the evil spirit from Yahweh by Shem Yahushua was upon Saul, that David took an harp and played with his hand, so Saul was refreshed. So the vibration that the harp gave refreshed Saul. So there is certain, things you can listen to, vibration that'll refresh your spirit. But then you can also listen to like some crunk music or drill music, what they call it nowadays. That'll put demons on you, man. And have you wanting to fight, have you bitter, have you angry, put lust demons on you. Now all the music, now it's about what? Having sex with another man's woman, or homosexuality, or lesbianism, or threesomes. My girl got a girlfriend. All about chasing the bag.
I can bring out this give you another interpretation of it too. Book of 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 23. And it came to pass when the evil spirit from Yahweh was upon Saul, that David took an harp and played with his hand, and Saul was refreshed and was well, and the evil spirit departed from him.
Right, so the demon, when he played the harp, the demons left him, man, from the vibration of that music. So Esau done weaponized everything. You gotta remember, this darn devil, his blessing is the sword, man. All right, and he done weaponized everything to target the Israelites, to keep us in a state of sin, to keep us in an oppressed condition, and ultimately to destroy us. You know? This is back in Who's Esau Edom, chapter 3, page 19. It says the characteristics of Esau Edom. As with any script, the Bible reveals certain traits, attributes, and characteristics of various actors or characters it talks about. Okay, and then the main characters in this movie is Jacob and Esau. Now, Jacob's name was changed to Israel, Yasher Allah, which means he is the prince of the power, man. That's how you say it in the Lashawan Kudash, or the ancient Hebrew, the Holy Tongue, or the Paleo Hebrew, right? It says we can thus find in the Bible some attributes and characteristics of Esau Edom, which will help identify who this character was in history and perhaps in the world today. There's much evidence showing that the seed of Esau may safely be identified with modern jewelry. So that goes into them rats over there, man. You know, the little hats, big noses. You know, the people who are in our land. Okay? And also the average Joe out here in America. These people are the Idumeans, man. They're the devil. Okay? It says Edom's symbolic name, which is going back to Hebrew, the word that's a shashua, which means wasted away is he. You know, you got to spit out the bones when reading these books. You know, it says the first revealing attribute associated with Esau Edom is scriptures that of a color association with his name. It says Esau is symbolically associated with the color red, which is synonymous with sin, bloodshed. You know, what was his blessing? To live by the sword. You know. It says Esau was actually born with this attribute and is described in the account of his birth, which that's Genesis 25. And the first Esau came out red all over like a hairy garment, and he called his name Esau, Ashashua. I'm gonna get this in the GNT, man. Check this out. I was reading it. When you Google GNT, Genesis 27 and 38 through 41, because this proves that Esau is Cain reincarnated. You know, because
GNT.
Yep, the Good News Translation.
27.
Yep, and start at 38. Got it.
Esau continued to plead with his father.
We call it out, chapter and verse.
The book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 38. Esau continued to plead with his father.
Right, this is the Good News translation.
Esau continued to plead with his father. Do you have any one blessing, father? Bless me. So, father, he began to cry. Verse 39. And Isaac said to him, no dew from heaven. You, no fertile field for you.
Right, so who's that sound like? It says no dew of the heaven for you, no fertile fields for you.
Sound like
that sound like the blessing that the Lord put on Cain. Watch, go to Genesis. I'm gonna go to Genesis 4 and read that one. Read it from the top again.
Esau, book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 38. Esau continued to plead with his father. Do you have any one blessing, father? Bless me too, father. He began to cry. And Isaac said to him, no dew from heaven for you.
Right.
Nor fertile field for you.
Right. Now check this out. This is Genesis 4 going into the curse. This is how we know reincarnation is biblical, man. All right. And he's reading from the Good News translation, Genesis 27. We're going to get into KJV too. But the point is Esau's blessing actually turned out to be a curse. You know, this is Genesis 4 and verse 11, the curse of Cain. It says, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which had opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. Did not say America is drunken with the blood of the saints. You know, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I could bear. Right, read that again. The same thing.
Esau continued to plead with his father. Do you have only one blessing, father? Bless me too, father. He began to cry.
Yep.
Verse 39. Then Isaac said to him, no dew from heaven for you, no fertile field for you. You will live by the sword.
Yep, you will live by the sword, meaning what? You're going to rely on your military strength, the sword, to gain wealth, success, whatever you got in this world. You got to do bloodshed. You got to do rape, robbery, and murder. So I'm going to get a quick precept real quick on that. This is the book of John, chapter 10, and verse 10. The thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. And that's what happened when they set over here, 1492. They started stealing, killing, destroying, passing out diseases. He put the Tainos, Arawaks, natives into slavery. If they ain't fetch him enough gold, he would cut off their limbs, man. He would hang them over fire pits in numbers of 13s and roast them. You know, the men, they would take a swipe at the woman and see if they could chop the baby out, man, stomp on the baby. Many atrocities they would do. They would ravish the woman, you know, sick dogs upon our people. This man's the devil, man.
Revelation chapter 6, verse 3, 6-4. Revelation chapter 6, verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red.
Right now, a horse dealing with what? Power. Okay, because if you're riding upon the horse, you're in rulership. That's what goes with Ecclesiastes says, I have saw servants on horses. Meaning what? They were in the position of authority. They were in the position of power. You know, because it goes back to the blessing that the Lord gave Isaac, that he's going to have a position of power, but through his military might, which is what? His knowledge of how to create swords. You know?
And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
So how was he doing that? With his sword. Keep going.
and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword.
That goes into what? Those nukes. You know? Huh? What do you say? Jay crazy as hell. This is Isaiah 54 and verse 16. Going back to that great sword. It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals and the fire. Yeah, going back to what? You know, all the way back to Robert Oppenheimer. What did he say? He said, I'm become the destroyer of worlds, man. All right, because it's knowledge of what? The atomic bombs. Operation Paperclip, those German Nazi scientists, where they got split up between Germany and America, and they were brought over here to build those nukes. Now, the nuclear technology that the Russians, who are Gog and Magog the bear, possess is far greater than what they have in America. Because America has what's called the Moab, mother of all bombs, and Russia came out with the Foab, father of all bombs. You know, so they got, that came from the Lord. Because the Lord put the devil in the trick bag to where he's going to destroy himself with his own weaponry. You know? It says, behold, I have created a smith that bloweth the coals and the fire. Just look up Operation Paperclip, man. You know? And that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I've created a waster to destroy. Who is the waster? Esau. His name, Joshua, means wasted away is he. You know? And that's because he didn't have any pigmentation. He sold his birthright. You know? It's cursed, man. What it says about Adumi, the piece of my curse to judgment. You know? Can you bring out that article from Share the Fan Plan?
Yep.
While you're getting that article, I'm gonna bring this out in Genesis, because this is what we read earlier, Genesis 27. That was the Good News translation, but this is the good old KJV.
Which article?
The financial fiat currency.
Saudi Arabia bought $100.
The last one. You see it, the fan play?
Yeah.
I'm going to read this out and then we're going to go into that article. This is Genesis 27 and verse 38 in the KJV. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even also me, my father, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. And where are white people known to live? In the suburbs, the rural areas, man. They're known to have land, big ass mansion, houses, right? They take cruises, lavish vacations. They live on the best places on the earth. Hell, they even got our land right now, which is cursed, but they got our land. That's really the best place to be on the earth. There's a scripture that says the Lord's eyes is always over that land, man. So this devil, he does have the fatness of the earth right now. You know?
You can tell when you go way out, you know, just how they live, man. They have all the land, you know, they have farms, and everything that they expose.
They have livestock, horses, rams, you know, goats, chickens running around. You know, when I used to make my deliveries, I seen it, man.
Yeah, me too, man. I see way out there, see all that.
You see
it.
it.
They own wine vineyards and all that.
Esau, he's not in trouble as other men. Esau don't have to worry about struggling to pay rent. In most cases, the rent is cheaper out there. You know? Genesis 27 and verse 39. And Isaac his father answered, said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. Yeah, going into his he has a space force. This man actually has a space force to where he actually going to think he's going to fight the Lord to prevent the second coming, to prevent us from being delivered, destruction of this place. You know, that's also why he has Project Blue Beam too. He has his different mock fighter jets, airplanes, things of that nature, and also the dude going into what? The direct energy weapons, man. You know. And another thing, when you go into that word fatness, can you look that up in the blue letter?
Fatness?
Yeah, Genesis 27:38. I believe the word there is shemam and goes into oil. You know, because right now what's going on with going back to Saudi Arabia, right?
You said what?
27:38.
Have you talked to your dad today? You had called your dad home?
Yeah, I took some notes on it. Pretty much going back to 1974, which is about 50 years ago. You know, the U.S. they made a deal with Saudi Arabia that the Saudi Arabians were gonna trade their petrol, which is their oil, in U.S. currency. Okay, but now, 50 years later, I believe it happened on June 9th. That deal has ended. Right? Found it. Now what they're saying is that the Saudi Arabians, they're getting ready to trade their oil in the Chinese yuan.
Fatness, fat, peace, fertile place, richly, prepared food, fatness, fat pieces, oil, olive oil.
See? Goes into that oil. You know, going back to that Dave Chappelle skit, George Bush. You know, why they went over there first place. It's for oil.
You ever heard of the waterfall method? That's what the Rockefellers have made up for the insurance. So like all the money that if they die, all that's why I call it the waterfall method, because when they die, all that wealth and all that recycles through their offspring.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? They keep it within the family. Yep. That goes in Genesis 49:11. You know, where they were saying about their riches, they continue to live on forever, and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're inward thoughts that they think they're going to live forever. Because they're keeping that wealth in the family. The real top elites, we don't even know their names.
Man.
We don't know certain who they want us to know.
The ones they want you to know.
You know? It says the U.S. Saudi petrodollar deal was established on June 8th in 1974, was an agreement through which Saudi Arabia agreed to trade crude oil and U.S. dollars in exchange for military equipment and assistance from the U.S. And that goes into his blessing of him having the fatness, which is the oil, and him living by the sword, his military might. You know? But now that we're getting toward the end, these nations, they don't want to deal with Esau no more. You're being exposed. They don't want to deal with your dollar, because they understand that it's fiat currency. Go back to the article.
The fiat money system will not disappear just like that. Any expectation of hopes to that end should be temporary. Yes, the fiat money system could collapse. Yet there is a
Call out the article site.
The article site is shit plane. It's an SHTF plane.
Yup, shit hit the fan plane.
Shit hit the fan plane. Alright. The fiat money system will not disappear just like that. Any expectation of hope to that and should be temporary. Yes, the fiat money system could collapse, yet there is a sufficient likelihood it will perish long than most people might think. This prolonged existence may come at a cost of a facet state, encroachment on the freedoms of citizens.
Right, which is what they're doing right now. Okay, and what they ultimately want to have over the people is total control. And how are they going to gain that control? By having you by funneling everyone to them to implant a device in you, which they can track you. They have all your data on there. You know that famous conversation between Aaron Russo and one of the Rockefellers, man. You know.
Entrepreneurs would be more profound than most people realize. Much ink has been spilled about the impending collapse of the international fiat money system. It is debated that naturally gained monumentally in time of crisis as witnesses of aftermath of 208, 9 global financial market debacle of the political dedicate global lockdown crash between 2020 and 21.
Right. When you go into the definition of the word fiat, which I believe is going to go into, but that's a Latin word for let it be done. You know. Keep going.
At the same time, however, it is entirely justified to harbor sufficient concern regarding the fiat money system. After all, it is plagued by blatant economic and ethical defects. Are you wondering about the essence of the fiat money? Let's break it down into 3 characteristics. State-sponsored central bank will of monopoly over the production of fiat central bank money. Upon obtained fiat central bank money, commercial bank are allowed to generate their own money, known as flat commercial bank money.
So pretty much it's printed out of thin air. You know, it's nothing more than numbers in a computer system. That's what you're working so hard for, man. You know, just numbers in a computer. It's not worth nothing. And really the only thing that was kind of propping this dollar up still was the U.S. petrodollar deal. But now that that's ceasing, you know, you're going to start to see gas prices go up. You know, other nations even more nations going to diss the dollar. You got BRIC nations, they're coming in, you know, building up their currency. You know, so this could very well speed up that collapse.
Pocket it something. The rocks is up.
Right, Lord willing. You know, but hey, one thing we do know, man, this is going to be a hell of a year.
Yeah.
So we're halfway through the year already, and towards the end of the year, you have what? The elections. You know.
Fiat money predominantly exists in dematerialized form, while it may manifest as colorful printed pieces of paper.
Right.
It's primarily reside in digital entries.
Exactly. It's nothing more than digital entries, man. Because what you're holding is is debt notes. That's all it is. It's not backed by gold or silver. It really has no weight to it. But you have our people, they're going crazy over the bad, which really ain't no bad, man.
It's really fake money.
It's fake money.
It's no worse than their Monopoly money that you play on the board game.
It's the same shit. You know?
No wonder why when I used to play Monopoly, I used to feel, I just feel so like the actual real money.
Yep.
And they was telling you right there in that game.
Yep.
Hey,
they put it right in your face, man.
Esau got a way of, you know, adding insult to injury. You know what I'm saying? You know he's playing. You know that's a damn double right there. You do that.
Keep going.
Whether we're talking about the United States dollar, euro, Chinese renminbi, Japanese yen, British pound, or Swiss franc, they are all fiat money.
It's all fiat money, man. It's all fake money. All right, and that's all these economies they're going to collapse because they have the before World War III pops off, right?
First.
So-called Father's Day, man. This is what our people's doing. They're trying to enjoy the last bit of mirth, which they think they have, but really the mirth is gone. Dollar ain't worth nothing. You know, you got UN troops. They're already here, disguised as migrants. Our people don't know what the hell is going on. You know, Keep going, bro.
Whether they're talking about the United States dollar, euro, Chinese renminbi, Japanese yen, British pound, or Swiss franc, they are all fiat money.
It's all fake money, man.
We know from monetary theory that fiat money is not natural or innocent, unlike monies. Emerging from voluntary agreement in the free marketplace, fiat money was introduced through the state's interventions involving corruption and violence, leading to many negative effects. Fiat money is inherently inflationary,
Meaning it's only evident that the dollar is going to continue to decrease in value. So you're right. What you're noticing is that there's something called shrinkflation. What you're buying a product, it looks to be the same size, but it's actually you're getting a smaller quantity, and also you're paying more for it. And that's because it's not that prices are going up; it's that the value of the dollar is decreasing, and that's going to lead to hyperinflation, which what we saw in the Weimar Republic in Germany, man. I believe in the 1920s.
That's why the prophet Haggai 1:67 said, "Yo, put in money, put in back and hold."
Yeah, I'm gonna get that. That's a good precept. Oh, keep going. Oh, that's right over here too.
And fiat money is inherently inflationary, gradually losing its purchase power.
Gradually losing its purchasing power, man. Okay, you spending whole checks on a piece of bread out here, man. Was Rev going back to Rev 6, that penny.
Penny.
You know?
Continue. This phenomenon disruptively benefits a select few at the expense of the border of population. Moreover, flattening fiat money causes economic instability by perpetuating cycles of boom and bust that disrupt market equilibrium and create social inequalities and drive excessive.
And that's why who owns the majority of wealth in this society? Esau. That's by design, man. It's all by design. When these heathens come over here, they get loans from the bank. Jake, you're not getting no loan like that. And when Jake does figure out the game, they change the rules. That's what Esau been doing, going back to the first Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma. You know, Jake started to do well. What happened? They bombed it. You know, and that's because we were brought to America to serve a punishment. Not for our destruction, but to serve a punishment for our disobedience to the Lord. So we weren't brought here to be wealthy. That's why the ones of our people who do make it, how did they get there? They had to sell their soul. Then they always end up the same in the end. They end up, Esau dragged them through the mud in the media, and they die without nothing. You know? Happened to Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby, Hitler.
Yeah, next.
You know, they got all type of dirt on these people, man, because they had to do those things to get that wealth. You know, that's why the Lord said, what shall the profit of man to gain the whole world, but you lose your soul? You know?
All right. Last but not least, fiat money is dishonest. Money engaging with fiat money daily erodes the morals and values of people involved in it.
And another thing, when you look at the dollars, the actual dollars, it's curses on there. There's all sorts of Illuminati symbols. You know, the eagle with holding 13 arrows and shit. That's curses, man.
That's why I said the root of money is the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil because it makes you kill, steal, do all types of stuff that you wouldn't do normally to get it. We got our sisters out here twerking on the fans on the pole for that money.
Right.
We got brothers putting no dresses and lipsticks and their fingernails for that money.
Oh man, Lil Uzi Vert. I don't know if you've seen that. You don't want to see it. But pretty much they got this man with a purse and a dress on. Mm-hmm. You know, but he's a gangster rapper though.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what money do. It breaks down the hardest man down. Look at they did to Shaq.
Yeah.
They had put Shaq on the dressing years back.
Yep.
You know? Come on, man. You really think about it, yeah, that money is cursed. That money is cursed.
Martin Lawrence, Big Mama House.
Yeah.
How he bugged out in Hollywood. Dave Chappelle was talking about that, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right. And it rose the morals and values of people. Just like we just talked about it. We just said the morals, you know what I'm saying? And values of people involved in the circulation. However, despite this considerable drawback, once fiat money has been put into circulation, it is here. It is to stay. It won't disappear just like that. Why? Fiat money foster what I have perversely described as collective corruption, wherein many people become proverbially ensnared by the structure that fiat money established.
Snared. That means that shit traps you.
Traps
You know?
That's why you don't, bishop that thing. He don't want to teach the name.
Oh, that's a cut.
Yup.
Jet
He's snared
set.
in that deal he had made with Esau, man.
Yeah.
That's why he don't want to teach the Quran, because he's snared. He know what he's doing is wrong. He know, but he getting paid.
Yeah, that's a good point. Going into the false prophets, man. You know, taking backdoor deals, not teaching the true name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai for filthy lucre's sake. Starting camp starter kits. Hell, on the way here, they were selling waters. But all that money's going to Nate. You know? Matter of fact, I got a precept on that, man. This is Isaiah 56 and verse 10. Isaiah 56 and 10.
Bro, I'm already here too.
It says, his watchmen are blind. Now, what's a watchman? The prophets. You know? So what does the job of a watchman do? To watch. You know, how should I say, occupy till I come, give attendance to reading? You know? They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. Right? A dog. When you have a dog on your property, the dog is supposed to bark to alert you of what? Someone trespassing on your property. Someone coming. So that dog is watching out for you. But that's what the prophets are like. You know? They're all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. So imagine you got a dog, right? And it don't bark to when someone when it sees someone breaking in your house, the dog sleeping. It's worthless. That's likened unto these false prophets, man. They're not teaching the true name. They're teaching our people that they're gonna die and go to hell. They're pretty much teaching Roman Catholicism. You know, that's that same plantation Christianity. You know? It says, yeah, they are greedy dogs which can never have enough. That's why they need all that money. To go jet setting, take all these lavish trips, because they can never be satisfied, man. It says, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. So them themselves don't even understand. You know, that's why they can't teach you the right breakdowns. You know, they all look to their own way, everyone for his own gain from his quarter. You know, so they all about that money.
Speak on these things. They say you hate him, all that. No, you hate him in the right direction. Fall is coming, and unfortunately, people have to take that thing. Then what? You got blood in your hands on it.
A lot of blood, and the real money is the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You know, because also in Isaiah it says that. Look at that. This is Isaiah 33 and verse 6. It says, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is his treasure. So when Shades the fan, when Jacob's trouble, all that money that they're gathering up, they won't be able to save it. They won't be able to deliver them. You know, in order for you to keep some type of so-called wealth for a moment, you're gonna have to take that chip, man.
Sure.
But it's gonna be short-lived.
Right.
Cause you take that chip, World War III is gonna happen, then the nukes will come. And it's evident that we're in a time of war. They just passed the draft. They're gonna automatically draft men ages 18 to 26. They're gonna throw women up in there too. You know? Back in the article, a little more. It's kind of lengthy, but it says there's a lot of good information.
Fiat money fostered what I have perversely described as a collective corruption wherein many people become probably ensnared by the structure that fiat money established, fostering dependencies and entrenching it inflation influence. Consider this fiat money act as a catalyst for the expansion of the state, making it bigger, more powerful. Companies receive new orders from the state, promoting adjustments in production, employment to meet arbitrary demands, or consider the people to keep their life savings. Fiat money, they invest directly or directly in government bonds and banks, tourists, and maintain time and saving deposits. Gradually, people become relent on the permutations of the fiat money system, consenting to nearly any measure proposed by the state, and the special interest groups taking advantage of it to keep the fiat money system going.
Right. So pretty much, man, it's fake money. Look up the Latin X nihilo. It's EXNIHI. It's a Latin word X nihilo, which means out of thin air. You know, because that's all fiat money is, and it's collapsing. It's EXNIHILO. It's a Latin word.
Yeah, I got it.
Got it? What's the definition? What it says?
He said, from out of nothing.
There you go. That's pretty much where they get this so-called dollar from. Now the dollar. Now we at the point where the dollar's collapsed. And there's another one I sent about the banks. You can just read the title of that one because it tells you pretty much everything.
So what is the U.S. Saudi control?
No, not that one. It goes into the bank closures. Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America. Isn't there?
It's not in there.
No.
Got the Saudi Arabia Petro Valley Chinese, Saudi Arabia Bank. Yeah, this is the one that came up.
Oh, okay. All right. Go bring up the one with the latest one with Saudi Arabia and the yuan. All right, go ahead.
All right, this is the new Arab. Proof from propaganda rumors about the Saudi Arabia is set to drop the petrodollar for the Chinese yuan.
Right. And this could really tie in with the wars and rumors of war because there's financial wars too, which is why America puts sanctions on these other nations. You know, even going back to the Persians or the Iranians who are the Persians, you know, they believe that. Hey, how you doing? Shalom.
Another day proverbial paradise. I drove by and something told me y'all dudes got knowledge.
Yep.
So I figured I got some time to spend. Maybe I could get bestowed some.
Hey, you got any questions? You know.
Oh, nah, I'm the type of person that I like to learn as much as I can because I know they don't tell me what I need to.
Cool. So you know about America then, right?
Well, that depends on the America you're talking about. You talking about the corporation or the one they stole?
I'm talking about the corporation.
The corporation? Alright, I'll give it to you like this. Outside of America, in the Dominican Republic, you only pay taxes if you make more than $30,000 a year. Hence, in America, if you don't pay your taxes, they'll take your phone. Matter of fact, I was telling that to my kids the other day. We buy this, but you can't do nothing to it. Is it really yours?
You don't own nothing here.
Nah,
You don't own your house. You gotta pay property taxes on your house. Yeah, you do. But yeah, you're right. You don't own nothing here. You know. But pretty much what we're talking about is from a Bible standpoint. You believe in God, right?
Oh, my head stands when I think about it, but I'm living proof that God's here. I was one of those guys that come hella high water, what I said was what went. And everybody's heard the saying, humble yourself or God will humble you. Nigga, I got humbled.
Oh yeah, that's a good thing. That means the Lord loves you. He says he chastens who he loves. He chastens. He rebukes and chastens.
Well, that's why, like I said, I seen y'all, and something said y'all know something. So I figured as much as I can learn, because I still haven't found the reason I'm still here, but he saved me for a reason. Problem is, he also don't give you nothing if you don't go looking.
Yeah. He says, "Seeking you shall find."
How about it, right?
You know. So yeah, we're the Israelites. We believe the true name of the Father is Yahweh, which means He exists, He used to be. The name of the Son is Yahweh Shai. You might hear God and Jesus Christ, but we gonna call it the Hebrew names.
Well, see, I'm a firm believer that the letter J wasn't invented until the mid 1400s. So who the hell you got me praying to?
There you go.
There you go. It's like I did an experiment, which is funny because they don't want me in my kids' school no more after this. They had in February, African American history. So I took some dry red clay and moist red clay. So they trying to bring the Bible into the school. All right, let's talk about what it really taught. In Genesis, it literally says he took red clay.
Yeah.
Well, not for nothing. Red clay, dry red clay is darker than you.
Yep. Yep.
Make it make sense, Becky.
They don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about that, man.
So what's a lot?
Go ahead.
You find yourself on that chart, maybe?
That's Simeon.
That's it. I know.
You from DR, right?
Well, now, you see, that's the funny part, right? I had a teacher in high school, Mr. Jones, that for history, he had us all go back, see how far back you can go. Unfortunately, there's a wall there that no matter how far back we try to go with the actual documented lineage, they erased a certain part. But I got back in my family to the point where it erased right after it said that my father's side of the family owned my mother's. Talking about some shit. My father's Puerto Rican, my mother's Dominican.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
Right.
it'll be evil.
It's one of those, I don't know.
Well, it's all about your father's seed. So if you come from your father's seed, who's a so-called...
He's from the Canary, his family comes from the Canary Islands.
Okay. But he's a so-called Puerto Rican, right? That means rich port.
Yeah.
So that's not a real nationality.
Oh no, not at all. They call it rich port because that's where the biggest slave trade block was at.
Yep. That's where they got most of the gold from. If they ain't pick enough gold, they would dismember them. You know, but I believe that the true people were called Taínos.
Well, see, that's the beauty of it, right? So the Taíno is like, how can I explain it? Like, I'll explain it to in neighborhood terms, right? You got the city of Rochester, and then you got wards, right? But each one of those wards has different neighborhoods within. And those neighborhoods are sadly at this point controlled by Bloods, Crips, this, that, and the third. Well, the Taínos was the ones that were in Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, maybe down towards Barbados. But they were all part of the Arawaks.
Okay.
Which is the part that they don't want to talk about because the Arawaks actually traded with Mali.
Ah, that makes sense.
Well, you heard the story of Mansa Musa, right?
Yep.
Well, that's who they were trading with. When he went west, it's like I try to explain to everybody. It's like, yo, think about it. What did Columbus discover? My man said something happened to my trade ships when they went west again.
Yeah.
Again, it wasn't a venture.
You know that's in the Bible, right?
Really?
Yeah, all of that, because the so-called people indigenous to North Central, the islands,
yeah.
those are part of the 12 tribes.
Yeah.
And they knew that. Like there's actual reports of Columbus came over, he brought a Hebrew interpreter. So the people, they were speaking a broken dialect of Hebrew, carrying certain customs, because those are the Israelites.
Okay.
That's why they were circumcising. They were doing certain things that you find in the Bible. You're like, why are they doing that? Because those customs were passed down. You know? So I'm gonna read this in second Esdras. This is the Apocrypha. So these are the books that were taken out of the scripture.
Yeah, the unadulterated version, let's call it.
Yep. He has right there is in 1611. You get the original 1611, it's contained in there.
Okay.
But if you just buy one,
Because I know when my pops came during Hurricane Maria, when FEMA went and was trying to help everything go out in Puerto Rico, he had a Bible called the Bear. It was a direct translation that the Queen of Spain, when she was going up against the Pope, she had it translated from Aramaic to Spanish. That Bible disappeared when they went to check to see everything.
oh wow.
So, it's an old ass book, man. It was from the 1500s.
Oh yeah, and when you talk about the Roman Catholic Church, they got a lot of relics, Bibles. They got a lot of that stuff hidden up in there, man.
Well, yeah, it's the one city-state nobody can go to.
So they got all that history. Then you saw my man Vladimir Putin bring out the dark images, right?
Well, you know, it's interesting you mentioned that. I have a friend. She's a doctor. In the early 2010s, she went to Russia to do some Doctors Without Borders thing, and she was up until that point a diehard Catholic. But when she went to a Roman Catholic church, she was shocked because everybody white ain't nothing but black people. She's like, "What's this?" It's like, "Well, it says it right here. That's what like we ain't meet them, but we drawing from what we read." She renounced Catholicism.
Yeah, that's heavy. Right? Hey, that goes into the medieval times, the Moors, like you said, Mansa Musa, the Dark Ages.
Yeah.
Our people ruled Europe.
Yeah.
They ruled Sicily.
Well, that's why they get mad at me when I call them the global minority.
They are. They call us the minority, but really, we're the majority. We outnumber them.
Yeah, but they call us the minorities because they want us to subjugate ourselves.
And also divide and conquer.
Oh, yeah.
You know, 'cause that's big too. And also the language barrier, so they try to make us fight one another. One lighter, one darker. You know, every which way they could divide us, they do. You know. This is check this out. This is second Esdras 13 and verse 40. It says, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners of their own land in the time of Hosea the king. So when you go into the history of the Israelites, right, going back all the way to Solomon. After King Solomon's death, the kingdom was split between two sons, Jeroboam and Rehoboam. And thus you have the northern kingdom of Israel, which is the 10 tribes. The head of that tribe is Ephraim, right? Which we believe now they're being called Puerto Ricans.
Okay.
That's the head tribe. The head tribe of the southern's called Judah, the Jews. But they took 3 tribes. They had Judah, Benjamin, and Levi because they split. In the northern kingdom, they had a lot more tribes, but they had the Dominicans, Native Americans, Seminoles.
Yeah.
See, all the indigenous people, they were all on this land. The Mexicans, this is their shit. Mayans, Incas, Aztecs, all of that. So they were pretty much with Ephraim. They left the land of Israel on that captivity to come over here thousands of years ago. know, it says, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king. You get 2 Kings 17. It says, whom Salmanaser, king of Assyria, led away captive. So you go all the way back to the Assyrians, right? King Salmanaser,
Okay.
which means fire worshiper. What the northern kingdom were doing, they were worshiping idols, false gods. So with God, they used to say, okay, you want to worship idols? You don't want to worship me, the true God? I'm going to use these Assyrians to put you in captivity. So when that happened, they repented, like, you know, we fucked up. We're going to just go to a whole nother place where it's only us and we're going to worship. That's why you got the Los Lunas stone, choose Joseph tablet. They found things over here that contain the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
How would they get that knowledge? They came from the old world. They brought it here. You know, you seen the movie Apocalypto?
Yeah.
See, through process of time, how people, they begin to, you know, sacrifice each other, worship the sun, moon, and stars. It's because that's what they were doing. That's why they left in the first place. You know, got it?
2 Kings
17.
17.
So I'll keep reading here. This second Edges 13 and verse 40. It says those, because you always hear about the Jews, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard about any other tribe?
Not necessarily, no.
Right, so what happened to them?
Even at that point, when they talk about the Jews, they like to do the ish, the ones that came after, the ones that want to be like.
Exactly. Which, you know, ish is a suffix that means to pertain to.
Yeah.
Like you're a man, but you can act childish. You're not a child, you're a man. So you want to act like a, but you're not. You're ish. I mean, you're acting like them, but you ain't really of that bloodline. You know? So it says, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea the king, whom Salmanaser, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters. So they came into another land. So they got took into captivity. But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Let's talk about the New World.
Yeah.
When Columbus came over, he called it what? He said he was going to India, but so he didn't. He knew where he was going. Because when you watch that movie, 1492, The Conquest, he mentions Edris. You know? It says...
Right, even at that point, his main navigator was a Moor.
That spoke Hebrew. He needed them to come over here. Because like you said, they were doing trades with Mansa Musa and the other Hebrews. So, you know, they were marriages.
Think about something, actually. Mansa Musa pretty much bankrupt Europe when he made Hajj, right? That makes sense why they would want to come over here.
They knew about the riches over here.
Yeah.
They knew the tribes were over here.
I like connecting dots. I like you.
So that was a lie.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, check out that movie, 1492. There's a scene where he mentions this book right here. He mentions Edris. He's talking about this chapter. You know?
In the Jewish encyclopedia.
Oh, can you Google that? What you're about to say?
Yeah.
Arduous.
I can tell you that.
I'm gonna keep going. The second Edges 13 and verse it says 41, right? It says, and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Before, nobody came over here. Because you gotta remember, going back to the time of Noah, right? The earth was all one. I believe it's called Pangea.
Yeah.
But then after the great flood, it was broken up.
Yeah.
So everybody stood pretty much Africa, Europe,
in the same
Asia,
space.
over there.
Yeah.
Nobody came on this side. So the first people that would come on this side were the tribes, 10 tribes. You know, it says that they might keep their own statutes, which they never kept in their own land, and they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, so that's a long way, especially in the ancient boats from pretty much the Middle East to here, you know.
It's literally halfway around the world.
So the Lord, what he did was he used so-called, you know about the UFOs, right?
Uh-huh.
They call them unidentified flying objects, but in the Bible, they're the chairs that the angels use, even God and the Lord. You When it says the Lord was taken up in the cloud, that's what it's talking about. That's why there's an increase in UFO sightings. Because the Lord's getting ready to come back. It says that they might keep their statutes, which they've never kept in their own land, and they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High then shewed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Arzaret. Can you read that?
It's a short one. Like, let me give you this. Christopher Columbus, Arzaret, the name of the land beyond the great rivers far away from the habitation of men.
That's the encyclopedia, right?
The website contains complete contents of the 12-volume Jewish encyclopedias, which was originally published between 1901 and 1906. The Jewish encyclopedias recently became part of the public domain, contain over 15,000 articles and illustrations.
Here where it talks about Arzaret. I'm gonna read it again. It says that the 10 tribes came to a land called Arzaret, right? It says, for through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half. So it's a year and a half, about 16-month journey, right? From there to here, so it's a year and a half. And it says the same region is called Arzaret. So you be like, what? Naturally, like, what the hell is Arzaret? So you Google it, and then you find out that Christopher Columbus associated this land with Arzaret. So it's in their history. You found it, bro?
I found it, but they just trying to, got to go through all this to get it.
It's an unfortunate common truth that they try to hide things within things so you don't find the things that you need to show so you can know. That's why they call them UFOs. It's not that they don't identify it, they just don't want you to know what it is.
Yep, exactly. Because I want you to know that, that's the angels.
Well, it's like, so it's funny, because I had that conversation with one of my kids the other day talking about angels. I said, look, fairy tale wise, beautiful. Yes, angels, you got white people with wings. You know how scary a fucking angel is? Excuse my language.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's not a joke.
Right.
Like, them things are real, powerful, not pleasant to the eye.
It said there's reports, right? I forget who was it. I think it was maybe somebody bigwig from NASA. They said they saw a man standing on a ship with a face as though he has never been conquered. I mean, he's just standing there, very powerful.
That's a big saying.
Yeah.
It looked like he's never been conquered.
Yeah, I mean, he was standing there, very austere, mighty, powerful. But that's how they're gonna come, because it says that Michael's gonna stand up to protect us.
Yeah.
Because shit's gonna get bad. The elections are coming up this year. Talks of civil war. Economy gonna collapse. You know about the mark of the beast?
Well, that's an iffy one due to the fact of how they want to transgress and change what that has meant over the last couple decades. To the point where, at least on a personal level, I don't think it's so much of a mark as so much of as a make game. So they have us going around. Thinking that it's just a 666. I mean, I don't think an all-powerful being is going to use 3 simple digits.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't think they're going to use simple digits. I think somewhere in there it got dumbed down to that, but there's something codified in there where it's, in my opinion, most likely a phrase or a saying that we're probably using on a daily basis, ignorant to the fact of what it is, but we're accepting that energy.
Right, before we go into that, let's get that point.
All right. Arzaret is renamed America after the Italian explorer slave traders. Amerigo Vespucci.
Right, Vespucci, which
Vespucci.
America was named by the, I believe it's Latin or Italian, but it's the actual name of a white man. That means bitter.
Yeah.
So America means bitter, and it's a bitter place for us,
Jeremiah prophesied that in Jeremiah 50. This bitter city. what's it called? Amerithia.
Gentlemen, how you doing?
How's it going, man?
Well, I can't complain. No one listens.
America Vespucci was born in 1454 to a prominent family in Florence, Italy. As a young man, he had widely collected books and maps and even studied under Michelangelo. While in Spain, Amerigo Vespucci.
That goes into the time of the Renaissance.
Yeah.
Right? Can you
Yeah.
get
Back when
Revelation?
the Medicis and all those people were doing their thing.
And what's their name? What's the crime family?
The Borgiers.
Borgiers. But you know who Jesus Christ is an actual man, Caesar Borgia, right? He comes from that family.
Okay.
Like picture that everybody showing in church. Like,
Yeah.
It's an actual man.
He's based off an actual man, Caesar Borgia, from the Borgia crime family.
Yeah. But that make a lot of sense too, though. That's another way to separate the waters.
They put him up as God, and they said this is God. And when they came over here, they were making indigenous people convert to Christianity or die. There's one brother's name, I forget his name, but he said they asked him, do you want to go to heaven? And then he said, well, y'all gonna be there? He said, oh, I'll go to hell. That's what he told her. That's what he told the conquistadors. That's what he told them before they killed him.
Yo, I gotta run. I'm sorry. I'm a bus driver. I have the Yankees AAA team. So the game's almost over. I gotta make sure the bus ready, but it's good. Bless. Keep this shit going.
Like, we're online, man. Just call upon that name, Yahweh by Yahweh Shai.
Before you leave, though, we gotta leave you with this. We ain't get into the market of chip. That's what the Bible, John the Revelator saw that. He said, if you take it, you're gonna be destroyed.
Yeah, you can't take that. It's gonna be an implant. That
Yeah.
without it, you won't be able to buy or sell. You don't take it. Don't let your children get it.
So it's funny you mentioned that because I was reading an article the other day on how they're starting to do these trials in Japan that they implanted into the palm a chip for you to do that like the credit card do. People already getting cancer.
Yeah. That's the Greek
That's
sword.
the grievous sword.
Price of life.
Revelation 16.
Oh, shit.
You can look it up online. When you go to YouTube, right, on your spare time, just type in GMS Israelites. Type in Apostles of Great Millstone.
Right.
You know, and put in Market of the Beast. You'll find all sorts of videos. You know, because we're brothers everywhere. You know, Detroit.
No, there's a young lady that works in my company. She's from Detroit, Israelite. The problem is that you drive buses, you see them 3-4 times a year.
Yeah.
Sean, can I read this?
Yeah.
Book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 2. Just said, my book soldiers. Book of Revelation 16, verse 2. And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth. And there fell a noisome, grievous sword upon the men, that which had the mark of the beast upon the which worship his image.
That's funny because that guy. I mean, that's what the shit up.
Yeah, don't take that, man. They gonna threaten to cut your head off, but you gonna be the first risen.
My grandfather used to tell me that it's better to be a knowledgeable, damn near threatened by nature, free man than a comfortable slave.
I believe what's my man said? He said knowledge makes a man unfit to be a slave. That's why we wasn't allowed to read the Bible. That's why they didn't want us to read it, because they
And
didn't
even
figure it out.
at that point, when it got to the point that they couldn't hold that back, they adulterated it again. Well, it's like I was reading an article, maybe 10 years ago. A gentleman alleged that the true reason for the desegregation of schools was because over 90% of the inventions that thrust this country into the Industrial Revolution came out of poor black schools.
Yep.
So these kids ain't got no books. How'd you invent the traffic light?
Right. Yep. The engine, the computer.
Little light bulbs. Because that's one thing that, like, I'm from Jersey. And they big on Thomas Edison. Well, on a school trip, I remember like 6th, 7th grade, they took us down to the Thomas Edison Museum. There was one document with his actual signature on it. I ain't seen no patent slip with that signature on it, even though it said Thomas Edison. It was written by illiterate hands.
Wow. That's dope.
Um,
Well, us being the Israelites, the Bible says that we are the farmers of all things. So our people were very creative, created everything. You know, if all of us were to leave this country, the people on this side, they wouldn't know what to do.
No, they wouldn't be able to do nothing. I was literally having that conversation with a gentleman earlier. Just talking about they're trying to pass legislation so that they have less immigrants at the farms. Well, how is it that that's coinciding with them manufacturing vegetables now?
Right.
That was their whole plan to make everything like.
And then it dawned on me when he said it, he was like, yo, bro, you watch the Discovery Channel in the 90s? They had an episode, and it hit me, when it was 3D printed eggs. But not just an egg, it was they 3D printed a fried egg. Oh, there's no nutrition in it now, but it won't do nothing to you. Well, who's to say that they actually put nutrition in it now anyway?
Right. Which that goes back to the curse of Cain. The ground ain't gonna yield them. So you gotta genetically modify the seeds and everything. You know? That's who's ruling the earth right now, a mad scientist, man. Now he wants to tip everybody.
Yeah, the ones that want to call themselves illuminated, but that's because they created the light, not following it.
Well, they believe in the light of Lucifer. They believe Lucifer gave them the license to sin. So
Well, see,
Statue of Liberty.
It's funny you say that with Lucifer. That's one of the things my grandfather used to always say. Say, you have to follow God's light. Don't worry about being illuminated. What God chooses, God chooses. There's nothing you can do about it. You can fight and turn. If God put his hand on you, you're following that path. Now the illuminated, I remember the first angel was the angel of light. It's also the one that went up against him.
That never happened.
I'm just saying how my grandfather said it.
I know.
But it's one of those things that the deeper down that well you dive, the thirstier you get. Because you start seeing actual facts, not what they want you to believe. But, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. God bless y'all. I'm about to be late.
Hey, Shalom, man. Call on that name. Don't take that chip.
Is that Inshallah?
Shalom.
Inshallah? Got you. Thank you.
Yep. And Lord will lead this. What was you reading? You was back, you had that article? What time is it?
3:30. Saudi Arabia drops the petrodollar Chinese yuan. Stop that. Secret propaganda rumors about Saudi Arabia is set to drop the petrodollar Chinese yuan. Reports are gushing and about Saudi Arabia planning to drop the petrodollar for the Chinese yuan, an economic pivot towards East Asia and away from the U.S., but experts have stressed that the story is not as it seems, with relations with Washington apparently on the mend. Back in March, Wall Street Journal reports that Saudi Arabia considered to trade some fortress with Beijing in the Chinese yuan, with almost all oil exports handling in the dollar since 1974.
Right, so pretty much going back 50 years ago, America has this deal with the Saudi Arabians, but now that deal is ended. And that was one of the last major things to prop up the USD. You know, so now with that being taken away and other nations moving away from the dollar, these American citizens are going to start seeing effects of that. You know? It's going to bring that out in Rev 6. This is Revelation chapter 6
Yeah, just like she was using syrup just like as a trademark, like her
and verse
brand,
5.
yeah. And like she was like
It says, and when he opened the third seal, I had heard the beast say, "Come and see." And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand, which going into what? Our slavery. Esau putting us in slavery. Which is Deuteronomy 28:68. And thou shalt go into Egypt again with ships. Verse 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny. And when you go into the definition of this word penny, you look it up, it says wages of a Roman wages of a day's pay. So pretty much it equals out to a day's pay for wheat. Pretty much you're gonna pay a day's wages for a loaf of bread. So going into what? Hyperinflation. Going back then during the time of the Romans, it was called the denarius. Right? One Roman coin could get you 10 asses, or was worth 10 donkeys. And if you had land and you put 10 asses on it, you continue to build that up. That's actually real wealth. Real wealth is land, cattle, gold, silver, woman, things with substance behind it, things of that nature. So nowadays a day's wages would be like what, $200? So that's hyperinflation right there. It says, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see that thou hurt not the oil and the wine, right? Because the truth still has to be teached so that the elect can be sealed. Destruction is not going to be fully let loose until the elect is sealed. Oh, yeah. It's the book of Haggai, chapter 1 and verse 6. It says, you have sown much and bring in little. And that's the state of our people. You're working 50 up to 60 hours a week, but you're bringing in little because you're being heavily taxed. You got student loans, you're bringing in little. It says, you have sown much and bring in little. You eat, but you have not enough. You drink, but you're not filled with drink. You clothe you, but there's none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it in the bag with holes. So the scripture's talking about the bag. That's the word of the day to our people. That's all you talking about is the bag, getting to the bag, chasing the bag. The Bible says you don't have holes in your bag, man. All right, and that's going to come in the form of food, gas. Those are going to be major holes in your bag real soon. Rent, phone bill, internet. There was this so-called Mexican man. He was breaking down like, yeah, Americans, you making more money, but you're not seeing any of that money. It's all being spent as soon as you make it. You might.
It's like they put the wages up and they put the price of the taxes up. So you can never beat that. You in debt.
The cost of living, what you're being paid an hour can never equate to the cost of living. It's never going to catch up. It's people that are, making good amount of money, like 100,000 a year. But even for that tax bracket that they're in, they're still struggling. They're still living paycheck to paycheck. Because America is designed to keep you in debt. That's what it's all about. And ultimately the value of your dollar is devaluating, it's decreasing. It says, you have sown much and bring in little. You eat, but you have not enough. You drink, but you're not filled with drink. You clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it in a bag with holes. So man, the bag got holes in it. Pretty soon, there's gonna be a run on banks. Oh, don't talk about the darkness, man, the blackouts, the EMP attacks. You know, because one day people could wake up, go check their banks, won't be able to get their money out. Or you could go to your bank gonna be closed. You know. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 1. It says, remember thou thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, right? The Most High wants you to seek him early, you know, in your youth. And a lot of us brothers, we came in as young men. No, of course you have brothers that came in when they were, you know, maybe older, you know. But the point is you want to seek the Lord now while you may be found, you know. It says, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, because there's going to come a time where the Lord's going to turn his face, and you're going to have pleasure in the evil days, when there's famine, you know, when there's no food, when there's no water, when there's war out here, right? Civil war, UN troops, martial law, right? Friends fighting one another like enemies, neighbors against neighbors. It says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. Verse 3, in the time and the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. Who are those? Those are the people that keep up with money trends, economics, things of that nature. They watch the stock market. You know, they keeping track of the Chinese yuan, the Russian ruble, you know, the pound. They watch money. Our people don't understand how money works. All right, which is why a lot of these banks that work, they're closing down. Okay, so if you have a certain bank and your bank closed, how are you gonna get to the ATM if there's none near you? If you do go to an ATM, it's gonna charge you. They're gonna charge you, and then your bank gonna charge you, man. You know. It says, in a day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. The grinders going into what? The workers. Bankers closed. People work at these banks. So these people that work at these banks, they're now out of a job. Not only banks are closing, you're going to have retail apocalypse. All these malls are closing, man. Greece Mall, that mall is damn near empty. You know? It says, because there are few jobs, which that goes with Isaiah, that there shall be no work for Egypt. You know, there's going to be major layoff from these major corporations. Everything's going to cease here, man. And those that look out of the windows be darkened. Meaning people are going to realize that there's no future here. So a lot of people are going to do reverse migration, go back to their own country. And a lot of our people, they're in that spirit. You got the passport bros. A lot of our people that are going to Japan, which now what Japan is doing, they're paying Israelite men money to get with their women. You know? It's over for this place, man. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets. These banks going to be shut. All right? And that could very well, like I say, that could very well be the cataclysm to cause civil unrest. All right? And what do they have? They have UN troops here ready for that shit, man. They've been doing, how you say it? Damn.
Training
Exercises. It's
maneuvers. Maneuvers too.
They've been doing training maneuvers to combat civil unrest. I believe there's an article on it. If you look it up, UN troops for civil unrest training. You know, but yeah, and also during the elections. So shit is about to get real hot and heavy in America, man. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. I mean, all these banks and businesses going to begin to close down, you know. And when you watch the movie Demolition Man, the only fast food chain that was left was Taco Bell.
I wonder why.
You know?
Somebody broke that down to me to explain why it was. You know what I'm saying? It's like a model. Why place that survived retail apocalypse, or personal apocalypse, or whatever. Saying because it's healthy, less recycling, some shit you gonna do.
What Esau does is he shows you, he put things in his movies and his video games, all that.
Yeah.
You know, and you look at it as a form of as entertainment, but really they're showing you what they want to do in the future. You know, it says, "And the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird." That's your alarm clock, man. It says, "And all the daughters of music shall be brought low." And we were going into that earlier. Your Sexy Red, your Cardi B's vibration of this music is very low. Keeps a lust demon on you, chase money. You know, it disconnects you from a higher power. It puts demons on you, man. You know, Scripture says it's better to hear the rebuke of the wise than to listen to a song of the fools. You know, and what we're doing out here is pretty much that wise counsel from the Lord stretching his hand out. You know, this is Zephaniah. Zephaniah chapter 1 at verse 10. "And it shall come in that pass, it shall come to pass in that day, said the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and in howling from the second." Even up until this very day, if you have some fishermen, you own boats, you can make a very good living. You know, Peter and Andrew, they were fishermen. You know, so that has always been a very lucrative way to make a living. You know, it says, "And in howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills." But to nowadays, that will translate to a Black Wall Street, if you will. Excuse me, not Black Wall Street, but Wall Street. Verse 11, it says, "How you inhabitants of Mektesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off." So now it says they're going to be a crashing from the hills. You can equate that with what? The stock market. You know, the Dow Jones, all that shit is going to collapse, man.
So Mektesh was back in the ancient world, was considered like Wall Street, like a city of merchants.
A wealthy place where they did exchangements. Pretty much the Wall Street at that time. You know, there's nothing new under the sun. You know? Then when that happens, your dollar's gonna be worthless. You have dollars just laid out around this bitch, like I Am Legend, man. You know, when you went into that house and you're just stepping on bundles of money. You know?
That's probably that dream I had. We were just giving out money. And then he gave me like a lot of money. I was like, just said, he wanted the bag, said, this whole money I owe you. There's like a whole bunch of money, like thousands, like hundreds of dollars that he gave me. And I'm like, he was just giving them out, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, you know, like, and I told you, I said, that's the opposite. That means that money ain't worth nothing.
Hell yeah.
Just giving it out.
Yeah, that probably goes into the time of hyperinflation.
Inflation, bro.
Probably use all that to get some water. Probably why they, you know. This is Ezekiel chapter 7. At verse 19. It says, "They shall cast their silver in the streets," which, no, you do have people that are wise enough that are actually buying gold and silver, which is real money. But even going that far, that's only going to get you so far. You know? Because when the economy collapses and people lose their fucking mind and they have to usher in martial law, which they could do that to keep Sleepy Creepy in office too. You know, they could usher in that to keep him in office. However it's going to play out, man, we know shit going to get real bad, you know? It says, "They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. Meaning you ain't gonna be able to use your money to buy your way out of it. You ain't gonna be able to use your money to buy water, food, none of that. If you don't have this rice device, you will be shut out from a society. That's what it's boiling down to, man. All right, and this is what we come out here to warn our people. Do not take that. Deadly serious. You know? Matter of fact, I'll end it off Revelation 13, maybe 14.
That's why they wanted to kill. That's why they killed Omar Gaddafi.
He
Want
wanted
to
to
bring back the gold and silver standard. That's going to be what brothers we trying to do. We got to cut these people down.
Yep. Can you read that Rev 13, start at 16?
Yes, sir. Revelation 13. 16. The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor,
Right,
free.
the he is going into Esau and his power structure. It's called the mark of what? The beast. So you have the whore, which is America. Then you have the beast, which is NATO and the EU. Pretty much where the old Roman Empire sat, Europe. You know?
He causeth all, both small and great,
Right.
rich.
When you go into those words in the Greek, it goes into micros and megas, meaning what? Infants, children, megas, adults, grown-ups. You know? Which that's an angle they're going to use too. If you want to keep your child safe from predators, then give them this device so you can track them. You can know where they're at all times. You know, you want to keep your grandparents that got Alzheimer's. You know, give them the device. You know, you can keep track of them in the nursing home. You know, there's an episode from Black Mirror called Archangel, where the mom, she implanted her daughter with a device so she could monitor her. You know.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor.
So rich and poor, whether you're doing well for yourself, you own businesses, you own mansions, or you're on the streets as a derelict, man. You know, guys like that. You know? Be so-called considered poor compared to Jeff Bezos, you know?
Free and bond.
Whether you're free, you know, you're able to out work a 9 to 5, get in your car, go here, go there, or you're in bond, you're locked in prison. All right, they're gonna cause people in prison to take it too. You want an early release date, you know, you want certain amenities, you have to, maybe they might even tell them they gotta take that to get their commissary, to get their mail, to get out. This man's the devil.
To receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
You go into that word, the word there is charagma, which means a thing engraved. Okay, so it's going to be a physical thing. You know? Go on.
And that no man might buy or sell.
And that's the point. This is all how you, this is going dealing with what? Commerce. The barter system. Now it's just dealt in USD, US dollars. All right, all around the world, nations are ditching the dollar. The dollar's depreciating, the value's decreasing, and so it's going to collapse. It's going to come a time. It's going to be a new form of currency. You know.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark of the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Right. So you ain't gonna be able to do business without this thing. So you're gonna be shut off from society. They even go to the point where they're gonna round people up and scare tactics to make you take this. You know? Was that it? Or
That's it.
Okay. So this is Revelation 14 at verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, because it don't matter which hand you get it. You got some simpletons that'll argue, well, get it in your left hand. If you take this thing, then you are going to be judged greatly. You know? The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and that's righteous anger. Meaning you're going to get we gonna get it.
Full blast.
We gonna get
Right.
the full wrath. And shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Meaning you're gonna be getting in that nuclear fire while the Lord and the elect and the angels are watching you burn. You know? Verse 11. And the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. All right, I'm going to get verse 20. This is Rev 20 and verse 4. It says, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. That goes back to Matthew 19 and 28. And you shall sit upon thrones, judging as Israel. All right, I mean the elect are going to be a nation of kings, judges, priests, rulers. You know, starting with the elect. Right? And I saw the souls of them that will be headed for the witness of Yahweh Shai and for the word of Yahweh. Because you're going to come to a point to where either you take this or we chop your head off, we behead you. You know, so we gotta warn you of that too. That's the severity of this thing. But hey, it says, comfort you one another with these words, the dead in Yahweh shall rise first. And the Lord said, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. And these things are written so when it happens, you won't get offended or you won't feel like the Lord forsook you. Now, if you find yourself in that situation, that's just your lot. The Lord gonna give you the spirit to endure that, man. You know, that's where faith comes in, you know. It says, and for the word of Yahweh, in which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither have received his image or care upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahweh Shai 1,000 years. So there's victory, all right, and not taking this thing, man. And that's a major final test. It's actually called the hour of temptation that's going to come upon all the world. You know, when we go into that word tribe, the root word, it goes into the idea of piercing. I mean, they have an idea of piercing everybody for total control. You know? But with that, you know, we're going to close up. Give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Makakodash. Give double honors to our apostles, elders of the great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect.